Let's speed run cleaning the Geisler 19x. First thing we need is the brushes, both nylon and copper. And then we need a microfiber cloth. This will come in handy just for wiping things down, getting extra grease off, and good to use. We have some CLP here. It's fancy, but you can use normal CLP as well. Whatever works, it's just gonna break up all that extra carbon and whatnot that builds up inside the slide, in the frame, and in the barrel. And outside of the CLP, we have a bore snake, which is for cleaning the barrel. It just runs through, kind of loosens up and grabs the carbon. We have these elongated Q-tips that are good for getting in the rails, good for getting into cracks. And of course, patches, which are good for kind of the first run through. And then gloves, which is optional, but is great if you don't want to smell like brake cleaner for the rest of the day. It's kind of a pain in the butt to get off your hands. So we'll start by safely disassembling our Geisler 19x, making sure we're clear. And you can see we're clear, no mag. And we can drop the slide. Now we gotta pull the trigger first, and then pull down on the slide lever, pull the slide back just a little bit, and you should be able to feel that tension release at that point, and then you can slide the slide right off. Easy enough. So now we have our slide off the frame, and we can take out the recoil spring, set that down. We'll do a little cleaning on that. For the barrel, we're going to first push up a little bit from the back, push down, up again, and just slide her out. Easy enough. And there's plenty of carbon and gunk built up in there, along with on this slide here. So here we go. We're gonna get everything sprayed down with some CLP. Not an insane amount. The only thing you really want to avoid is the striker channel. And we'll do the barrel as well, getting that all over, inside, outside. Recoil spring, we'll hit that as well for the hell of it. And then for the frame, we just kind of want to get the rails anywhere there's been wear or carbon buildup, along with kind of that trigger bar and trigger action area to just get that carbon loose once again. And once we have that, we'll let it sit for an hour or two. Some people even let it sit overnight, and it'll just further break down and loosen up that carbon. But here we go. We'll start with the brushes, where we'll brush the rails, any wear points, the trigger points, and do a first pass on that carbon. Now we will do the barrel, where we can get just outside, around the inside, and the recoil spring. Slide as well. We're going to get anywhere the rail sits, anywhere there is wear, basically everywhere. Now that we have that done, it's time to do kind of a first pass with the patches and get that initial loose carbon out. And you'll see this patch is going to get real dirty real quick, but they are pretty cheap. And with the elongated Q-tips, you can get right in those kind of rail slots that are hard to reach with the patches, and we'll save your fingers from hurting. And you can get into all kinds of tight spaces at the ejector pin, the firing pin area, anything that's hard to get with the patch, you can get right in there with these longer Q-tips. You could use regular Q-tips too, for sure. But these are like, again, $8. You got like 400 of them. I will link down below to everything in the video. And then we just do kind of a final quick cleanup with the patch, along with the microfiber cloth, which is really going to grab everything and then get all that excess CLP and oil from the outside of the slide where we don't want it. You'll see we got a nice and clean slide now. And now we're going to repeat. We're going to use the patches on the barrel, get that cleaned up, especially the breech face. We really want to scrape all the carbon off of there where you know the failure to feeds and various failures are going to be prone to happen. And then I first pass it with the Q-tip, and then we do the bore snake. You put the metal through the back end, and then I have a little knot here, and then we just pull it through and just kind of wiggle it around, get all that carbon loose, and we got a nice first pass. hit it with the Q-tips again, and then you can put a patch and feed it through with the Q-tips. Some people use you know, specific tools for that, but why get more tools when you can use what you have for cheaper, and it costs almost nothing. I find the more stuff you have, the easier it is to lose and get overwhelmed by it. So now we'll do the first wipe down with a patch of the frame on the inside along the rails, in the barrel liner area, the trigger mechanism, and get that initial carbon off. We'll get inside the mag well, which got some CLP in it, which is fine. It's usually not too dirty, but why not since we have it all apart. And then we'll use the Q-tips to get in between the rail and the frame, which is a tight spot, so these come in handy here, along with around the trigger mechanism, the rear rails, anywhere in the locking block area, slide takedown lever area. It's going to help. Now we will finish up the frame by, again, hitting it with a microfiber cloth to just dry up the excess CLP and start getting, you know, some of that oil off parts of the frame. And don't worry, because the CLP actually will still leave a thin layer of lubricant along basically everything that it touches. And the microfiber cloth does a great job getting it off the actual polymer. And yeah, here we are just getting the frame back to where it's not going to make our hand all greasy when we're using it. Easy enough here. And these microfiber cloths, you can wash them, you can reuse them. Again, it's like $5, you get a handful of them. And it's just way better to build your own cleaning kit versus grabbing one off the shelf that claims to do it all. I find they have a ton of stuff you'll never use versus kind of putting your own together with easily replaceable parts. Now we'll get to the oiling, which is why I don't mind wiping things down too much. So for the barrel, we'll put a generous amount on the actual barrel, right around the front where the wear is, and on the feed ramp. And we'll use a patch to just kind of evenly spread that out all over, put a thin layer of oil across, and then we push that patch through, which then leaves a thin layer of oil in the actual barrel. Recoil spring, no need to hit that. For the slide, you do along the rails and kind of angle it down so it'll run down evenly in those rails that are actioning back and forth when fired. And we can use the Q-tips to evenly spread that. Once again, and where there's wear, where the barrel hits kind of at the top, you can add some oil there. For the frame, rear rails, a little bit on the trigger mechanism, locking block, of course. And then we, again, use the Q-tip to just kind of spread it all along the rail, the rails on the sides, on the tops, corners, just a real light coating. And there we go. So I'm just wiping down the frame a little bit more, getting any oil that might have ran off there. And yeah, that's it. Your gun's clean. Basically, you reassemble, you rack the slide a couple times to get the oil moving across all the parts, and you are ready to go and hit the range.